After the two-decade-long French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars, the once mighty French Empire was largely viewed as a shell of its former power. The Bourbon Restoration that came for the decade and a half following Napoleon's defeat saw France during a time of economic growth and the starts of industrialization. However, the monarchy was still unpopular, and a series of economic downturns made the unpopularity only grow more. In response to this, sitting King Charles X went to war to try to boost his popularity, and this war would see nearly 3 decades of fighting. This is the French invasion of Algeria. The French had used Algeria as a large importer during the French Revolution, primarily of food and bought on credit. Following the end of the Revolution and the Bourbon Restoration, trade with the Algerians was heavily limited. Due to this lack of revenue, the Dey of Algeria increased taxes, angering the people, and this led to a large increase in pirate activity. The pirate activity had already hampered the Dey twice before in wars against the young United States and the British bombardment in 1816. In 1827, the Dey demanded that the French repay a 28-year-old debt, dating to the buying of supplies for Napoleon's Egyptian invasion. The answers by the French consul didn't satisfy the Dey, who touched the council with his fly whisk. In response, the French conducted a blockade of Algeria, largely to the detriment of French merchants. A French emissary got shelled at from an Algerian fort some years later, and this in turn proved the catalyst for a full-on French invasion of the nation. On June the 14th of the following year, a French fleet of over 100 warships and 35,000 men landed on the coastal town of Sidi Farouche, to minimal resistance. Within a few days, the Dey had organized an army of around 10,000, including 1,000 Ottoman janissaries. The French managed to keep this force at bay for 2 weeks, until siege batteries were managed to come to land. The following day, the fort defending the city of Algiers was attacked, with it falling on July the 4th, costing 415 French casualties. The Dey was exiled to Naples, and negotiations continued on before they could be settled. An administration was established for the city, with the intention of making the whole of Algeria a French protectorate. Hardly had the news of the capture reached Paris than Charles X was deposed during the 3 glorious days of July of 1830. The occupation force was heavily cut following it, and the local population continued to resist French rule. The establishment of friendly bays throughout the region only gave direct control of some cities, while the interior was largely controlled by hostile tribes. The Kabylie harassed the French for decades, gathering local support in French-occupied cities. This was helped by the lack of effective administration that the colony had. A company was made, acquiring agricultural land and to subsidize its settlement by European farmers, which in turn triggered a land rush and a heavy amount of European settlement, but the effect of that will be covered in a future video. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about another French invasion during the 1830s, click here for the video I did about the Pastry War. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.